Ever been to a networking event and met one of those people who just comes up and goes on and on about their business? Let's make sure that your website isn't like that. Here's a simple test you can do to just see what your website looks like. To begin with, just for an example, let's look at lawyers in the Hills District. Let's not do the ads, let's do the people who rank. What we're going to look at today is the copy on this page. And we're going to try and find out how much of the copy is talking about you, the visitor, and how much is talking about us, the client. So the easy way to do this, we go Control F, that's Command F on a Mac, and that brings up this little search box. Let's start with you. You can see that there are 7 of these because the little 7 has come up here. And you can also see that this includes words like your. We pretty much know that you and your is coming to 7. Now that was easy. Let's look at we. Now we've got 6 times that we appears on the page, but this one here is website. In order to avoid that kind of thing, let's put a space in. Now we can see that there's only 5, so there's 5 we. Then let's look at us. This is coming up all over the place, but you can see that it's got business in here. Now us is never ever ever going to be the first word in a sentence, so let's this time put the space in at the beginning. That gets us down to 7 copies of us. And then let's look at our. Now this is giving us 23, but remember we had some your before, and every your includes our, so we're going to need to take those ones away. Let's see how many of those there are. There are 6 of those. So for our, we've got 23 minus 6, which equals 17. So what do those numbers mean? Well, if we add it all up, you can see that the number of mentions of you and your was a total of 7. On the other hand, if we add up the mentions of we, us, and our, we get 5 plus 7 plus 17 for a grand total of 29. That's 4 times as much mention of the company themselves as it is of you, the client, you, the visitor to this website. I think it's fair to say the focus could be shifted somewhat. Let's do exactly the same test on a different website and see whether we get a different result. Let's start off with the U score, and we get 20. We move on to we with a space, because it's always going to be we something. 12 of those. Us with a space before it, because it never comes at the beginning of a sentence. There's another 8. As our final element, we're looking at our. And you can see that there are 21 references to our, but we need to take out the your, and you can see that there are 10 of those. So that leaves 11 references to our, which means that our grand total for this website is 20 mentions of you and your, which is brilliant, but 12 plus 8 plus 11 mentions of themselves, 31. So it's still skewed towards mentions of itself rather than looking out at the website visitor. So this one here, let's have a look at this one. So you, this time we get 15, and then if we take we with a space, on the other side we have 7. Us with a space in front of it to eliminate things gives us 8. We're 50-50 already, and we haven't even got to an hour. If we try the hour, there's 13. Of those 13, 4 are yours, so that gets us to 9. So 24 to 15. So we've looked at these 3 websites now, and in all 3 cases, as you can see, the mentions of the firm themselves outweigh the calls to you, the visitor to the website. This is a bit of a shame. You is a really strong word in copywriting. It draws the reader in, and all these sites are missing a little bit of an opportunity here. Having said that, I don't want to criticize these sites entirely. They all showed up on page 1 of Google for a competitive search term. I think the issue is that they may have excellent SEO, which is getting them to show up, but they're perhaps missing a little bit of the content marketing. It's about not just getting people to your site, but also getting them engaged and interested so that they remain on your site and continue through.